morning. How are you guys doing today? It's a good morning, isn't it? It's actually a really great morning. It's a really good morning. We got car parts in for literally all of the cars today, so that's a good sign.
This intro is way too creepy. I don't like doing that. So what's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we got a whole bunch of stuff in today. I don't quite know what today's video is going to consist of. I'm going to try to get oil pressure built on the STI again. A couple of you guys, actually a lot of you guys dropped a lot of really good suggestions. So I don't know why we didn't think of this before, but we're going to try applying a vacuum to the oil feed line to suck air out of the system and kind of force oil to be pulled through there. So I may drop a space heater down by the oil pan to help like thin it out a little bit, just to make doing that a little bit easier. If that doesn't work, oil pans coming off, oil pickups coming off, we're gonna inspect those, see what's going on. If everything looks good there, we're gonna have to pop the oil pump off. The oil pumps come pre-packed from Roger Clark Motorsports, so I don't think it's the oil pump, but I mean, worst case scenario, it could be the oil pump. That car is insanely close to starting, you guys. You get, like, I don't think a lot of you understand how close it actually is. Once we build oil pressure, all I have left to do is wire in the coil packs and bolt everything together and turn it on. That's it. That is literally it to start the car at this point. So oil pressure coil packs, start. Boop. I already have the base map built. Just got to upload it on there. I'm also going to get some more of the smaller stuff taken care of in this engine bay today. So that's going to be like coolant lines, sheathing some more of the wiring harness. Like the wiring harness is pretty much done, you guys. Crank positions plugged in, cam positions plugged in, ethanol sensors plugged in. I'm waiting on one knock sensor pigtail to get here so I can wire that in. The other knock sensor's already plugged in. Everything's done. Like the only thing that's stopping us at this point is fuel pressure or oil pressure and coil packs. And coil packs are the last of these remaining wires outside of the harness. After these are done, like I said, we can start it, you guys. But I need to get this engine dropped off today for Paul. Congratulations on winning that engine again, Paul. I got the cat back for the BRZ today, which is awesome. It's an MXP Comp RS. There's not a whole lot of options out there for the new BRZ yet, but I heard a lot of good things about this one. I also have suspension on the way for our BRZ, as well as a lot of other stuff. So we're gonna be doing like a mini BRZ build series. But before I even jump on this, we may need to run down a fuse also. I need to go to the shop and drop off the Evo's crankshaft. So that just came back from Outfront Motorsports. The other 5 coil packs have made it in for the STI, so we are just using the remote mount Haltech ones. All the coil packs are getting mounted underneath of the intake manifold, so we may need to run down a fuse fabrication today to go drop these off for Kyle, just so he can make up all the mounts for these. He said he'd let me know here in a couple hours. But before we do any of that stuff, we need to go to the shop in our fun little BRZ. Let's see if I can. I've never understood how YouTubers can hold a camera right here and drive a car. I've never understood it. Maybe my camera is just way too big. Oh yeah, this ain't working. This ain't happening. Oh God. What camera are you guys using to be able to film and drive at the same time? Because mine is way too big. Then again, I'm also using a full-size DSLR. Well, it's a mirrorless camera, but same, it's big. Yo, the Evo's crankshaft is heavy. Woo! All right, let's go to the shop. Really good braking in the BRZ for it all being stock. Very good. Hello, my forgotten friend. How are you doing today? How is Senorita Evo? Eva, whatever you want to be called. Eva's your name. You're sticking with that. So while I was on my way up here to the shop to drop off this crank, I got a call from Subaru, so I got to swing down to Subaru next. I got some like OEM Plus parts that just got dropped off at Subaru for the BRZ, so we got to pick those up before we go back to the house. Sometimes you just got a whole bunch of errands you got to run in one day. Nothing wrong with that, but some of you guys were asking me for an update on the Evo, so let me give you guys like the full rundown real quick. So with my Evo, as you guys know, it's a 2004 Evo 8. I bought it as a roller. It did not have an engine in it, didn't have an interior. We've got seats in here now. I need to get a steering wheel for it because I absolutely hate that one. Right now, I'm just trying to get it as a rolling chassis. So we already went through, we swapped all the hubs out, brand new brake rotors, everything like that. As you guys know, we redid the calipers as well. We have a nice set of Koenig flow formed hexagrams. I think these are the hexagrams. I don't remember 100%. Good looking wheel though. Appreciate Koenig sending those over for it. So in the out front box right here, I've got our 4G63 short block. I've got our re-polished crankshaft right there. I still have to do one more of the Brembos. Over here is where the bulk majority of all the Evo stuff is right now. So we've got our semi-built transmission right there, axles, fan, exhaust manifold, twin disc, intake manifold, radium dual fuel pumps up there, injectors, boost controller, fuel pressure gauge, all internals. We've got head studs, rods, pistons are in the other box, bearings, a whole bunch of OEM Mitsubishi stuff, GSC. I am going full out build on this Evo. We've got some nice Tomei oil scraper stuff down there, OEM Mitsubishi water pumps, timing belts, the Brembos that we did, whole bunch of stuff for the Evo just sitting over here on the rack. We've already gone ahead and put new coilovers in the car, got the old T-ins out of there. Now with the Evo, the main reason I haven't done a lot of stuff with the Evo yet is I've been waiting on all the engine build stuff to kind of get done with. So now we have technically everything to build the short block, or to build the long block. We could do the head also, but I'm kind of holding off on the Evo until we get the the STI running. B, I don't want the Evo to become kind of like the STI where it's a prolonged project where we're like waiting on parts here and there. So I've been buying and just storing a lot of these Evo parts. So that way, once the STI build series is done, we can just jump straight into the Evo build series. And then we pretty much will, for the most part, have all the parts here. So that way we're not playing the waiting game for parts. We're not like, all right, now we're going to take like a 3-week break from the Evo because I can't afford to buy any more parts for it for right now. So the Evo's coming. It's just trying to accumulate all the parts for the Evo so that way we can just do an entire build series all at once on it. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's go swing down to Subaru and go pick up some OEM Plus JDM bits for the BRZ because they're going to look minty. I cannot wait to put the exhaust on this thing. It is way too damn quiet. It's just so goddamn quiet stock. Exhaust gonna make it sound minty. So I just got back to the house from Subaru, and I really like OEM Plus parts. If you don't know what OEM Plus is, it's like the nicer side of like aftermarket OEM parts for like Subaru OEM parts, but they're like kind of aftermarket-y, whatnot. And I learned this with the STIs. If you want some OEM parts, get them before they discontinue them. Like I have the nice JDM STI turn mirrors on my car, the JDM push to start button, a whole bunch of other JDM little bits because I like JDM parts. I'm a JDM parts kind of dude. And I learned this with the STI when I went to buy stuff for that they discontinue them rather quick. So with the BRZ, I snagged one of these. There's only like 4 of them in the country. I got the STI JDM push button start for the BRZ. I like these type of parts. A lot of people are like, how can you justify spending $200 on this little button thing? It's OEM. I like the OEM stuff. It's cool stuff. I'm about it. So now that I'm not going to put this on today, I'm kind of saving up all the BRZ stuff. So that way we can do like a BRZ little mini series all at once. And that way I can still focus on the STI. So let's go try to build oil pressure in this turd. Let's go figure this thing out. All right, you guys, so here's my big brain idea, okay? And I just thought of this. Some of you guys are suggesting getting the Jegs canister to pressurize the oil system. Dude, I have a freaking power bleeder. I got a freaking power bleeder right here that I can use. And it's the same thing, pretty much. It's just a hand pump, which should work. I don't see why it wouldn't work. So with that, I just ran some acetone through it now to clean out any brake fluid that was in there because you put fluid in that canister normally for the brake system, and then it'll pressurize the braking system while you bleed the brakes. But it should work with the oil system too. We're gonna go ahead and give this a try. We're gonna big brain stuff right now. Let me poke around the garage and find an adapter fitting for that, so that way we can just screw it into an oil galley. But dude, this will work perfect. This will literally work perfect. All right, guys, so I've got this going right now. This is just a different brand of break-in fluid or break-in oil. So at some point I'm gonna have to swap that back out, but I'm gonna let that feed down real quick. Make sure that it starts to pressurize the system. Once I see oil starting to come out down here, I'm gonna put the oil filter back on. But we've got about 1 bar, which is about 14 PSI on there of break-in oil. So let's see if this pressurizes the system. Like, it's screwed right up to the front galley and we're pressurizing oil in there. Hopefully this works. Oh, there it is. Dope. So this is a really good sign. I've been pumping oil through the system here for a little bit. I have it depressurized right now, so it stopped pushing oil through. But essentially what you do is you fill this thing up with oil or brake fluid. It's meant for brake fluid, and then you use it on the actual braking system. But I put about 1 bar, which is about 14.7 PSI through it, and it's been pushing oil through, and we are getting oil coming out of the feed line now. So we at least have oil lubricating the internals, the bearings, everything like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let that continue to run oil through the system into that jar right there. Then we're gonna take this guy off, put the manual oil pressure gauge back on here, and jump it, and we'll test for oil pressure again. If we don't get oil pressure, then at that point we know it's the oil pickup or the oil pan. That's not the oil pan, it's either the oil pickup or the oil pump. But by doing this should have just pre-filled the entire oil system. So let me keep pushing oil through the system here. Kyle's on his way up to test fit the new manifold also, so you guys are gonna see the design on that one, but let me get some more oil going through this thing. So I know it has oil in the galleys at this point. We have verified that. We've seen it come out of that feed line right there. We pressurized the system. I'm still getting no oil pressure coming through this thing. Like I'll do it a couple more times in hopes that maybe we get some pressure. I'm not too concerned with turning it over anymore because I know there's oil on the bearings now because we've just pre-pressurized the system with our little power bleeder down there. So I know there's braking oil on everything inside of the motor at this point. So I feel a little bit more comfortable turning it over time and time again. So let's try turning it over. We'll do it 4 times at 10-second intervals. If we get oil pressure, fantastic. We're golden to keep moving on. If not, pan's got to come off. Where did I put my gloves? All right, and let's go again. Starter cool down for a minute and we'll try again. Dude, come on. Just give us oil pressure. One more try. And then the pan's coming off. Fuck, dude. I really don't want to take the pan off. Well, pan's coming off. No oil pressure. Fuck! So I'm guessing it's something like a pinhole in the oil pickup. I really don't think it's the oil pump because we just pre-pressurized the system. I know there's oil in the oil pump at this point. I know the oil pump is packed, so I'm gonna run to AutoZone. I have to run down to Subaru again anyways because my license plates just got there for the BRZ, so I'm gonna go pick those up. And then we'll run over to AutoZone real quick, grab a brand new clean oil pan, drain the oil, take the oil pan back off, take the oil pickup back off, verify no O-rings are smushed or anything like that, and we'll go from there. Hey guys, so I think I have an idea of what might be the oil pressure issue. I'm driving over to Subaru right now, so while I'm picking up my plates, I'm gonna go talk to the parts department. I think that the O-rings behind the oil pump and the pickup to the engine are different sizes than EJ-based ones. So I'm gonna have them cross-reference a couple part numbers for me. If they are different, I'm just gonna, if it's not a discontinued part, let me say that right now. If it's not a discontinued part, I'm gonna have them order literally all of them for me because it seems that they're just discontinuing literally everything for this engine. So hopefully it's not discontinued and hopefully it's the same as an EJ, because if the O-rings are different, I used EJ O-rings, and if the O-rings are different, then that's going to be one of our sources of issues. Why are you not turning, dude? You have like 1,000,000 miles before someone else is coming. So fingers crossed. Let me run into Subaru real quick, I'm almost there. Don't mind me being on the GoPro right now, but I think I figured out what the issue is with oil pressure in the STI. So when I bought the oil pump, I'm using a Roger Clark Motorsport modified 12mm oil pump for the STI. I got that oil pump and it came with seals, but the seals are for an EJ25. I thought the seals were the same. They're not. So the part number on the EJ seals are 10991AA001 from Subaru. The EG33 ones are actually 806919050. So if the O-rings aren't sealing properly, it's not going to build pressure. So I think the next logical step is to pull the oil pump off. We'll repack it again, just to verify that RCM did pack the oil pump. So I'm not gonna pull the pan quite yet. I'm gonna hold off on doing that until we get this. They said it's gonna be about 2 days until those oil seals come in, so I'm not gonna stress it quite yet. We're gonna move on to knocking out some other stuff, but the more you know. Not everything is same. Some stuff is same, but not everything is same. All right, I changed my mind. There's only two things that can stop the car from building oil pressure: the oil pickup tube and the oil pump. Before I go ripping timing off the car, we're gonna check the oil pickup tube and the oil pan first. That's where we're gonna start. I'd rather do the oil pan than redo timing on the car, redo the oil pump and all the stuff like that. So we're gonna start things off. I mean, I'm gonna pull the oil pump off anyways, because I have to replace the seals. I need to change those seals to EG33 seals. I don't even know if they're different. They could be the exact same seal and the part number just changed. Regardless, I'm done fucking around with this car. We're covering all bases. We're taking that oil pan back off. So I just went out and I bought a brand new oil drain pan, which I don't even know where I put it. Oh, it's right here. I just bought a brand new oil drain pan because it was cheaper to buy this than it was to buy all new brake-in oil for the car. So let's drain the pan, start taking it off. Alright guys, so here's what I found off of the pickup. It looks like that O-ring on there is too small, and that O-ring is discontinued from Subaru. So I've got a couple different O-ring sets here. I'm going to play mix and match real quick and see if I can find one that seems to be a good fit. These are nitrile O-rings, so I'm kind of hoping that we can make something work here. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm guessing that the pickup just wasn't sealing where it meets up to the engine, because that is, there's just not a lot of O-ring left there for it to seal. So let me play mix and match. Once I get an O-ring that seems to be a good fit, I'm gonna go ahead and bolt the oil pickup back up onto the engine. I'm gonna take some of our clean engine oil there, and I have a jar soaking in acetone right now just to clean it out. I'm gonna fill that up with oil, and we're gonna submerge that, or we're gonna submerge the oil pickup in that oil. I'm gonna try turning it over to see if we can get any oil to come out. Fingers crossed that we can. I don't know. Let me see what I can make happen over here. That O-ring seems a little bit thicker. Do I double up on O-rings here? Like, should I double up on O-rings here? That seems like too many O-rings. That is way too many O-rings. I need like a thick boy O-ring, man. Like, that O-ring doesn't seem thick enough either. So I've got that guy as an option, or I've got these guys that are options. The nitrile one just seems thicker. I don't know, man. Let's try this O-ring. Let's bolt it up on there, squish it down, and see what happens. I mean, I think it's sealing. Let me find a jar big enough to grab that, or like put in that something clear, and we'll fill it with oil and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I've got Melanie who's gonna hold a little thing of oil for us.
I'm just very scared it's gonna be very loud.
You're gonna be fine. Just make sure that you do not unsubmerge that oil, or else we could have engine damage.
Okay.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
It's gonna be loud, are you sure?
I mean, no, but do I have a choice?
Yeah, let me grab this jar right here, so that way if oil does come out of this side, we can at least see it.
Okay. Nothing.
Nothing happened? No bubbles or anything?
No. I have it right here so I can see it. I don't see anything happening.
Do you hear that gloop?
Yeah, I hear like a glick, 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 but I don't see anything.
There's no oil spilling out anywhere either?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's oil back there, but that's in there.
That's fine.
Oh, it's dripping.
It's okay. That's gonna drip a little bit.
I don't think so. I don't see. It's leaking from there now.
From where?
There's like a puddle right here that just started leaking.
That's just probably because I was turning it over. So it wasn't sucking up any oil.
No.
Oh, shit. The engine has oil on it, so I'm not too worried about spinning it over like this.
Okay.
All right, let me know when you're ready and set up.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Nothing? Jackie! You can take it off. You know, sometimes the only thing you can do is just sit on the floor in the garage and contemplate life of why you're having the problems you're having. So, oil pickup looks fine. We weren't seeing any suction from the pickup up to the engine, really. Like there was maybe some, not much, but maybe some. So the next logical step is to take timing off the car, which I really didn't want to do. Take timing off the car and take the oil pump off. Inspect the oil pump. I don't know if there's any type of warranty on that oil pump. I really hope there is, because it was an expensive oil pump. I'm kind of hoping there's some type of warranty on it. So in the next STI, I'm gonna take a day break from the STI. Tomorrow I'm gonna work on the BRZ. I got the exhaust for it back there, and I want to do something that feels like a win. And doing a catback on a BRZ is gonna feel like a win. And sometimes you just need a little bit of a win. Sometimes you just need a little pick-me-up to keep going. So, this sucks about the oil pan. I didn't want to have to take it off. I took it off. I didn't want to take it off. I took it off though. So I'm going to take it down to fuse tomorrow, and I'm going to have Kyle go over my welds that I did on that bung for the dash 10 return. And have him seal it up a little bit better, because mine was definitely leaking. It wasn't leaking a lot, maybe a small pinhole on where I had it on the oil pan. But yeah, that's where I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it here, you guys. I'm feeling a little defeated right now with this whole oil pressure thing. And to the people out there that say, why don't you just build oil pressure when you start the car? That is the worst advice I have ever heard anybody give anybody, because what if you're in a situation like this when your car doesn't build oil pressure? Then you just destroyed your brand new engine. So take the time, you guys. Validate your oil pressure before you try to send it and just turn your car on. Not a good idea. So with that, that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you like the video, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button. Turn it black, blue, green, yellow, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. For me, the color of the day today is going to be blue for the Blue Brew. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead, hit your boy up if you want to. I'll put it in one of these corners. No idea which one quite yet, but one of them. And with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies.